Okay, so this is our respiratory system model, which is modeling the lungs. Up here we have the mouth and the nose, which is located in the head portion, and that is represented by this PVC pipe right here. This bend right here is where our larynx and pharynx are represented. That is where the air from the mouth and the nose mix. Right down here we have our trachea, which is where the air travels down to the lungs. And then we have our right bronchus and left bronchus, where it splits into the two different parts of the lungs. We have our right lung right here, and our left lung coming right here. And inside the lungs, we have our bronchioli, and then on those little tendrils right here, we have our alveoli.
The first step is where we're breathing in through our nose and our mouth. This is where we're getting our oxygen.
And then the air that is inhaled through the nose gets mixed in with the air that is inhaled through the mouth, and then it goes down into the pharynx.
And the combined air will then enter the pharynx.
And then the air travels down to the trachea.
And lastly, the air will reach the lungs here. So the lungs branch into two bronchial trees.
And then the bronchi branch into smaller brachyoli.
And then the bronchioles branch into microscopic alveolar ducts.
And then the ducts lead into smaller alveolar sacs made up of the alveoli.
So the alveoli are surrounded by many capillaries coming from the pulmonary arteries. And then as the capillaries come into contact with alveoli, which are high in oxygen, carbon dioxide leaves the capillaries and enters the alveoli. Then the oxygen leaves the alveoli and enters the capillaries, which low oxygen in alveoli is exhaled. So this represents our blood, as shown here. And then it will be going through our right atrium and into the right ventricle and then into our lungs.
Then from the lungs, between the right ventricle and the lungs, it is going through the pulmonary artery. And once it is in the lungs, all right, Caitlin, start pumping. Once it is in the lungs, after it has become oxygenated, it will travel through the pulmonary vein into our left atrium, which we have right here. Then from there, it will travel into the left ventricle and then drain through the aorta into the body, and then the cycle repeats.
Here at the top is our aorta, which is a massive blood vessel that distributes blood throughout the whole body after branching into smaller blood vessels.
That's going to be this tube coming out of the left ventricle right here. Here we have the superior and inferior vena cava. Normally they are separated, but for this model we have combined them. That is the blood vessel that is carrying the deoxygenated blood from the body, and it's carrying it over to the right atrium over here.